Hey data geeks, welcome to my channel Data Structure. I am Sudeep and today we'll be creating a Tableau dashboard from scratch. In my last video, we used SQL to analyze pizza sales. Today we'll take it a step further with Tableau. We'll extract key columns from 4 datasets, use advanced Excel functions like VLOOKUP, import the data into Tableau and build a dynamic and interactive dashboard. Whether you are new to Tableau or looking to refine your skills, this video has something for you. Let's dive in and turn our data into insights. So watch till the end and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Your comments are always welcome. So let's get started. So in my previous video, I have used these 4 datasets for the SQL data analysis. The order details dataset, orders dataset, pizza types dataset, and pizzas dataset. Basically, we use the joins function of the SQL to utilize the 4 dataset and extract the relevant information. But for this project, I have decided to create a consolidated pizza dataset, which we will use in our Tableau to extract data visualizations. So these are the informations that I need for my consolidated pizza dataset. So as you've seen, I have filled the first few rows and columns because they are readily available. What I want to show you is how we use the rest of the or how we populate the rest of the columns. Let's start with the unit price. Here we'll use the VLOOKUP function of the Excel to find out our unit price. So let's see how the formula looks like. Equal to VLOOKUP. Now VLOOKUP to work needs three basic information so that we can find the value. The first one is the lookup value. So now the lookup value, let's see where we can find the unit price of the pizza. To find the unit price, we'll go to the pizza data set and we see that we have the price column here. But we need a lookup value and the pizza ID will act as a lookup value. So let's head over to our consolidated data set and we look up. So the lookup value, let's start again. We want the lookup value to be the pizza name ID. Next, we have to provide the table array. So table array will be this one. Next, we have to provide the column index number. So 4 is the column index number and we have to provide the range lookup. We want the exact match, which is false, which is also written as 0. So let's close this and see if we can get a unit price. Okay, so we have our unit price. Let's copy this formula and paste to the rest of the cells. So we have populated the rest of the cells successfully using the VLOOKUP function and move on to the next column, which is the total price. Now total price is nothing but quantity multiplied by unit price. So it's simply this multiplied by quantity. This done. Let's copy paste the function to the rest of the cells and we have the total price. Next is the pizza size. So the pizza size is also available with the pizzas data set and we also have to do a VLOOKUP for this using the pizza ID as a lookup value. Let's run the VLOOKUP, provide the lookup value followed by the table array. Table array is this. Now we will only select the 3 columns and use, keep in mind this 3 will always provide a table array followed by column index number, which is 3 and followed by exact match, which is 0. Done. And we have the pizza size. Let's fill the rest of the cells. Okay, so I have filled the pizza size. Let's move on to the pizza category. A simple we look up the pizza type ID in pizza types, and this will be the table array, and 3 will be the column index number and false. So we have classic, and let's populate the rest of the column. Let's so we have pizza category. Next is ingredients. Ingredients is also available in the pizza types dataset. Equal to we look up the pizza type ID and look up in the table range of this and return 4 and 0. So we have the pizza ingredients. Let's copy paste the formula to the rest of the cells, and we have the entire pizza ingredients. Let's move on to the last column, which is pizza name, and pizza name is also present in the pizza types. So let's just use a simple VLOOKUP and we will be done with the dataset. We look up the pizza type ID in the table range of this and return the column index number 2 and range lookup is 0. So we have the names. Let's copy paste and the so here we have completed our consolidated data sets, which contains all the important information which will be required for our Tableau data analysis. So now let's save this and head on to our Tableau workbench. So for the next segment of our video, we'll check out what we are going to do with our data analysis dashboard creation. So let's check out what the dashboard will look like. So this is the dashboard we are going to make. This will contain hourly trends for pizza, a couple of KPIs to understand what's going on with the sales, the hourly trends for pizza, the weekly trend for total orders, percentage sales of pizza categories, percentage sales by pizza size, and total orders and pizza sold by category. Then we will include some useful insights that we will derive from the data analysis, and then we will create the next page which will contain the top 5 best performing pizzas and bottom 5 performing pizzas along with some insights derived from the analysis. So let's see what we are going to prepare. The first thing that we will be preparing is the key performance indicator. This is a quantifiable measure of performance over time for specific objective. So the KPI will include the following 5 measures: the total revenue, average order value, total pizza sold, total orders, and average pizza per order. Next, we will be preparing the visualization of the charts, which will contain hourly trend for pizza sold, weekly trend of pizza sold, sales by pizza category. Basically, we are trying to identify the trends in pizza sales on hourly basis, on weekly basis, and pizza sales by category. Next, we will also be preparing pizza sales by size. This will help us in identifying the popularity of different pizza size, followed by total orders and total pizza sold by category. So we want to find out that which category is selling the best, followed by the top 5 and the bottom 5 pizza sales in terms of revenue, quantity, and total orders. So we have understood what our objective for the project is. Now let's head on to our Tableau and see how we load the data and perform our data analysis. So this is a Tableau public workbook. So installation process is fairly simple and Tableau public is free. You can download the file from online and install it on yourself. There are a lot of videos available on YouTube where you can learn how to install Tableau public. But if you want a separate video on how to install Tableau public, please leave a comment and I'll make the video as soon as possible. So now let's head on and see how we can import the data. So basically Tableau public is a very powerful and useful tool in the field of data visualization, and it supports a wide array of file types like Microsoft Excel, text file or CSV file, JSON file, Microsoft Access, PDF file, statistical file, and a lot more. So we have saved a consolidated data set of pizza sales in the form of Excel. So we will select the Microsoft Excel and provide the path where the file is saved. So I've saved the file here, and let's click on it and click open. So it will take some time to load, and when it's loaded, it will show the file, the preview of the file online. Let's see, I think the file is loaded. This is the consolidated pizza data set, and here we have the preview. So here we can see the field name, which is the column name, the physical table, and the remote field is given. If you notice, there is one more field called type, in which some symbols are given. These are nothing but the showing the data types. So for order details, this means that it is an integer data type. For pizza name ID, it's showing ABC, which means it's a text format. For order date and order time, it's showing some calendar and clock type of symbol, which means it's date format and order time format. Similarly, for unit price and total price, it's showing integer format, and for the rest, it's showing text format. So if you come here and update, it will show you the top 100 rows as a preview. Here you can do a preliminary check and see whether you have selected the correct data set, and if all else is good, let's head on to our worksheet. So come down here on the left hand side bottom corner, and you will see the sheet 1. So let's go to sheet 1 and start with our analysis. So here on the left side, you will see that there are tables and measure names given here. This is our column and row, and this is a marks where we will beautify our graphs and charts. We also have some tools here which we will use, and let's start with our data analysis and see how we can utilize all the tools to create our dashboard. So basically this is a workbook, and let me give you a quick tour of the workbook. So the orders or the fields are divided into two. If you see the measure names and the dimensions, the bottom part of the field is called the measure, and the top part is called the dimension. It is also distinguished as the dimensions are the discrete fields which are at the top, and the measure names are the continuous field which are given. So let's start with our data analysis, and the first thing we need to find out is the total orders. So the first we will find out the total revenue. Let's see what the total revenue is. To create the total revenue, we have to create a calculated field. So the calculated field can be created by three means. First, we can click on here, and we will see that we have an option called create calculated field, or you can go to any dimension and click on this little arrow and create a calculate field. Right click, and you can see that there is, right click on the blank space, and there we have a create calculated field. Or you can go to analysis at the top, and in the analysis we have create a calculated field. So there are three ways by which we can create a calculated field, and let's start with creation of the calculated field. So this is a calculation field, and I'll name this as total revenue. Now the total revenue is nothing but the sum of total price. Let's find out. We'll write sum and write total price and close the bracket. Now we have written a calculation field, and in the below it says showing that the calculation is valid. If there is any kind of error in the calculation field, it will show an error, and if it is not showing, it means that our calculation field is correct. Let's hit OK, and you can see that we have a total revenue here, which is newly created. Now total revenue is created. Let's check out what we need to create next. We need the average order value. average order value is nothing but total order divided by the total revenue. So to create the total, average order value, we will divide the total revenue by the total order. So we have created total revenue. We have to create another calculation field and we'll name it as total order. Now total order is nothing but, so total order, how can we find the total order? To find the total order, we need to find out the total order details ID. Now we have seen that there are some of duplicates in the total ID. So we will use, so let's write count distinct. Count D stands for count distincts of order ID. So this will give us total orders. So the calculation is valid. Let's click OK. And here we have created total orders. Now let's head on and create the average order, which is nothing but total revenue divided by total order. The average order is total revenue divided by total order. So let's see, yes, the calculation is valid, and let's click on OK and check, yes, the average order field is created. So let's see what is left. We have created total pizza sold, total revenue created, average order created, total orders created. We want to find out the total pizza sold in terms of quantity. Let's find out. So to create the total average pizza sold, let's create a calculated field. Let's rename this total pizzas sold, and the total pizza sold is nothing but sum of the quantity. So sum of quantity. Okay, so we want to find the sum of quantity, and it will be our total pizza sold. Let's apply, and here we have the total pizza sold field created. Let's move on and find out our last KPI. So our last KPI is average pizzas per order. So average pizzas per order is nothing but the total pizza by total orders. So let's create a calculated field and name it average pizzas per order. Pizzas per order, and it is total pizzas sold divided by total order. So this will give us the average pizza sold. Let's hit OK and see, yes, average pizza orders are created. So we have taken care of all the KPI, the 5 KPIs that we set out to find out. And next we will move on to the visualization part in the charts, in the form of charts. Let's see how we can do that. Now before we head on to our visualization, I want to create the KPI sheet or the KPI banner. Now to create the KPI banner, I will take the measure names and put it in the columns. Keep measure name and put it in columns, and you will see that we have something on the sheet. Next, I'll take the measure value and place it on this text. Once you do that, you will see that the average order, average pizzas per order, the count of sheet 1, everything that we have in the measure names are displayed on the sheet. So it's a little clustered. Let's change that. We will go to this standard and click on the entire view. Once you click on the entire view, you see that all the measure names are displayed in this format. Now we don't need all of these value. Let's click on this measure name, double click on this, and it will create a dialog box where we can deselect the measure names that we don't need. So basically we need the total revenue, average order value, total pizza sold, total orders and average pizza per order. We only need these 5 KPIs. Let's see, we don't average pizzas per order, we need average count of sheet 1 we don't need quantity, we need total revenue, total order, total price, unit name we don't need, and average order we don't need. So here we have selected the 5 measure names that we need. Click on apply and OK. So here we have the average pizzas per order, total revenue, total order, total price, and total pizzas sold. Sorry, my bad, we will have to make a little change. We need average order and we don't need total price. Okay, so apply, and here we have the 5 measure names that we need. Now we need to arrange the order. The first thing that we need is total revenue. So here the total revenue, just click on it and move it at the top. Once you do that, we see that the total revenue is in the first, followed by the average order value. So average order value, so then we need average order value is 38, followed by the average pizzas per order, but we have to change, we need the total pizza sold quantity. So the last one will go to the third place. Then we will have total orders, the total orders, and finally the average pizzas per order. So here we have created a window where we are displaying total revenue, average order, total pizza sold, total order, and average pizzas per order. Now we need some formatting with these. The first thing that I want to display is when we are displaying total revenue, it should be in dollar format. So let's see, and format, click on here and click on format. So here you can see the pane function is open, and click on numbers and you will see currency custom. Click on currency custom, move to 1 decimal place, change the prefix to dollar, and display units in thousand. So okay, it's done. It's 817.9 thousand. Similarly, for average order, we need to change this also. Click on this, click on format, the currency custom, prefix will be dollar and 1 decimal value. We don't need thousand because it is itself is a small number, and it's done. So we have the average order value as $38.3. Next comes the total pizza sold. So the total, for the total pizza sold, we need not to add any type of currency, but we will change this to 1000. Let's see, go to format, click on numbers and click on number custom. We don't need any prefix. Let's do it to 1 decimal place, it's 0. Let's not do it. And display unit should be 1000. So it's 49.57 thousand. Let's reduce the decimal place to 1. It's 49.6 thousand. So we are done with the formatting of total pizza sold. Let's move on to total order. It's 21,350. Let's go to format, click on numbers, click on number custom, decimal place 1, and display format. So 21.4 thousand. And lastly, the average pizza ordered is, let's go to format, click on number custom. We don't need in thousand. Let's do it in 1 decimal place, and we don't need any prefix or suffix. So it's done. And let's move on to format. Now we see that the value that is displayed is on the right side. I want this to be in the center. So I'll go to the text and go to align and click on center. Once we do that, we can see that every value is at the center of the pane. Now let's increase the size. So we'll select this. I'll give it a different format. Let's go with Tableau bold and increase the size to, let's say, 24 and click on OK. So once we do that, we have, I think the size is, let's decrease the size a little bit. Let's keep it to 18. OK, and it's done. So we have did the formatting a little bit. So let's rename the sheet. We will double click on this and name it as KPI banner. Now KPI banner is done. We will do some editing here also. Let's see, I'll give this Tableau semi bold and increase the size, decrease the size a bit, keep it 12 and bold. Apply. Okay, so we have created the sheet, and on the other hand we will start with our dashboarding too. So here you can see there is an option called new dashboard. Click on it. Now that we have created the KPI banner, we'll start designing a dashboard simultaneously. Now if you see that our dashboard is showing a little constricted, let's change this. Go to size and click on fixed size. You can click on custom and you can select the PowerPoint 1600 into 900. This will create the entire screen as your dashboard. Now once you have created the screen, let's go ahead and insert our image. Now if you can see, for my dashboard I have already used this background image. I have already designed this background image, and it was designed in Microsoft PowerPoint. If you want to know how to design this background image in Microsoft PowerPoint, just leave a comment in the comment section and I will create a video displaying how to create this background image in MS PowerPoint. But since I've already created this image, I'll use this image, I'll import the image and start working on it. So one thing that you have to notice that in this two option, floating and tile, you always have to select tile for this image, background image. Now I have selected background image and I'll click on image and drag it to our sheet. Now once we do that, you can see that it is giving an option to insert an image. Now let's choose the image and I'll choose, and here you can see I already have the pizza Tableau image. Let's click on this and open. So it has selected the image. Let's click on option fit and center. What this will do is fit the image in the entire screen and center image. Let's click on apply and OK. So we have our background, and now we will start designing our KPI banner. Let's see how we can do that. So we have already designed the KPI banner and we have created a background, and all we need to do right now is place our KPI banner into this background. So first thing that you have to notice that when we were placing the background image, we kept it as tiled, and let's see what it will do if we try to place the KPI banner. So if we try to place the KPI banner keeping the format as style, it will take up some space and it is not letting us use the space as to our convenience. So we will change it to floating, and now we can place the KPI banner as per our convenience. So let's place it here in this space, and let's drag it and make it perfectly aligned. Okay, so we have placed the KPI banner. Now it's showing the title of the sheet. Let's hide the title, and okay, so we have placed the KPI banner into our dashboard. But we need to do some formatting. Let's go ahead and get on with our formatting. Click on this sheet, right click and go to format. Now let's go to this shading option and click on the worksheet, and click on none because we want the background to be merged with the KPI banner. But when you click on this, you'll see that the whole thing is hidden. Now to make some changes in this, click on this, and on the side you will see a small box. When you click on this box, it will take you to the sheet where it was saved. So we have to make some changes here. Click on text, click here, and I want to reduce the size a little bit. Let's keep it 20, and I want to change the color to white so that it will look good on our dashboard. Once you click on the white, it will merge with the background in this sheet, but it will be okay for our dashboard. So here you can see the we can see the KPI banner clearly. Now let's right click here and go to the here, and I want to remove the lines from this one. So to remove the lines, I will go to this lines and select, I will go to columns, and it is okay. Let's go to line and column divider none, header none, pane, set pane to none, header to none. Go to measure name and go to here. It is done. So to change, remove these lines, we'll click on this, right click and format. So in format, you will see that the borders go to rows, and here I'll select the row divider as none. Once you do that, you have a clean KPI banner, but I also want to change this title of this. So click on the format, go to this and click this measure names. I want this to be Tableau semi bold, and increase the size to, let's say, 12, and click on this. So here we have a clean KPI banner. I think I'll have to change the size also a little bit. Let's go to sheet and click here, text, click here, and I'll just decrease the size to 15, say, apply, okay. Let's head on to sheet, and yes, it is done. I'll keep this space, I'll keep a little space above, because as you can see, we will insert some pics over also to make it more appealing. Now the preliminary is done. Let's head on and see what we have to do next. So for the next part, we will insert the pics that we were discussing about. So let's do that, and to let's close this, and to insert the pics, let's head on to objects and click on images. Keep one thing in mind, that it has to be in floating, or it won't be fitting in the space we have. So let's import this image here and click choose an image. So I have already downloaded couple of images here, and I'll give the link to these images also in the description. You can go ahead and download and make this workbook a little bit appealing. So let's see what we can insert. So for total revenue, we have to insert this type of image. So let's select this and open, and centered image and apply. Click on OK. So we have imported this image, decrease the size according to the space available, and then we will drag this and place it here. So we will adjust the size a little bit so that it fits in the size in the space we have, and here we have successfully imported the image. So we will do the same thing with the rest of the KPIs. So we have to do the same thing. Click on image, import, and let's see what image we are going to have for order value. So we will choose this image for our order value. Click on fit, centered, apply, and OK. Reduce the size and drag and place it above average order. So similarly, we will do the same thing for total pizza sold, total order, and average pizzas per order. So in the same manner, I have inserted all the other images, and the next thing that we are going to do is insert the title of our project, which will be pizza sales analysis. So to insert the headline, let's head on to objects and insert a text here. So I'll give the headline as pizza sales report, pizza sales report, and give the date as 1/1/2015 to 12/31/2015. 1/1/2015 to 12/31/2015. I'll change the format to Tableau semi bold, increase the size to 12, keep this bold, and OK. So we have the report, but let's change the color also. We want it to be, let's keep the color as this. Okay, so we have created our, so we have to change the size a little bit, reduce this to 12, and OK. So yes, it's now fitting, and we have created the title of our projects. So we can also see I have inserted a little slice of pizza. So let's insert that image. Go to image, drag it to the workbook, and choose an image. So I'll choose this pizza slice, open, centered, apply, and OK. Reduce the size and place it here. Okay, so we have prepared a title. Let's head on to our next objective. So for our next segment, we will design the hourly trend for the pizza sales. So for the hourly trend of pizza sales, let's go ahead and create another new worksheet. And in this new worksheet, we will design the hourly trend. So for to calculate the hourly trend of the total pizza sales, we need two of the informations: the order time and the total pizza sold. So let's go ahead and make this. So let's click on order time and place it in the column, and the total pizza sold. So by default it is showing year. Let's change this into hour. Let's change this into hour. So we have changed this into hour, and the total pizza sold, let's drop this in the rows column. So by default, whenever we deal with the hour or time related data, Tableau shows us a line chart, but we don't want the line chart. So we go to this marks option and click on bar. So here we have a bar chart for the hourly trend. Click on entire view and you will get the entire view. Now the size of this bar is a little wider than we require. Let's reduce this to some smaller size. Yeah, it's okay. And let's move on with our analysis. Now after this we want to show this by according to the category. So we want to show the hourly trend of total pizza sold and with respect to the category of the pizza. So we also need the pizza category. Let's select the pizza category and drop it in the color. So it's done. I want to change the color. Let's edit color and select. I want to select brown and assign palette, apply and OK. So here we have the palette of brown and we have done the bar chart. Now we if you see the chart, we see that there are labels present on every bar. So we want the labels also. So for that we have to use the total pizza sold and drop it in the labels column. To do that, click on labels and control. Once you select control and select the option, you will see that it is showing a plus sign below, and drop it in the labels column. Sorry, I think it's, yeah, drop it in the label column. And when you drop it, you see that the every object is having a label of its own, but we don't want it to be shown in this way. So we will use Ctrl Z, delete the label, and head on with our head on with our designing in this particular format. To do this, we will do one more thing, and we will use another chart. So select total pizza sold and drop it in the rows column, and we get a different chart. So we select this chart, and once you select this chart, you will see that in the marks column we have two charts, the aggregate first one and the second one. For the second one, we will say I will drop the color and it is of a gray color. And next what we'll do is change the bar type into Gantt bar. This will give us just this small lines which we will use to design our bar chart. Now to do this, what we will do is these two. So we will click on this, right click, and make it a dual axis chart. Once you do that, we will see that the both the charts are merged and we get a sleek design. Now what we will do, the most important part of using two charts is that the dual axis. We have two axes of two different charts, but we want to synchronize this axis because when one changes, the other changes too. So we have synchronized the axis. Now let's put on some labels. Select the second chart, select the total pizza sold, and select place it on labels. So we have the labels. So we will do some formatting with this. So first thing that we will do is click on here and go to format. Once we go to format, we get the numbers here. Click on numbers and number custom, and I want to show it in the thousand. So 6.878K, or and I'll reduce this to one decimal place. So once it's done, I'll change the sheet name to hourly trend for pizza sales. Hourly trend, hourly trend for pizza sales. We will select this, change it to Tableau semi bold, and reduce the size to 10 and keep the color as this. I will use a different color. Let's keep it this, and keep it bold, apply, and OK. Next thing that we need is this title. I don't want hide field labels from column. Next, don't want this that it is as it is shown in the title. So I'll uncheck the show header column, and we get a nice design. So now we have done the preliminary formatting. Let's head on to our dashboard and export the sheet. But first, let me rename the sheet as hourly trend pizza sales. Okay, let's head on to our dashboard and keep it as floating. Drag the KPI sheet here and adjust. So we will use this at a later stage and I'll show you how to design or format this. But first, let's adjust this here. Okay, now it's done, but we still need some formatting. Let's go to format option, and first thing that we will do is shading. Remove the shading, remove the worksheet shading to none. So it's done here, and let's right click in this format and use the grid lines for rows. Grand total none, header none, and row divider none. Let's move on to column, and grand total none, header set to none, and column divider set to none. So we have used, let's head on to the lines, and grid lines none, zero lines as none, trend lines as none, drop lines, reference lines none, drop lines as none, and axis sticks as none. So we have, okay, so we, for the rows also we will reduce the grid lines to none. Okay, so we have completed formatting with our grid lines. Next I will format the label color. So as you can see, the label color is, because it's black and the background is also black, it's not easily visible. So let's go to the sheet. So to change this, we will click on the second marks table, right click on here, sorry, now click on here, and then we will click on this three dots. Select this and change the color to white. Apply and OK. So it's not visible here. Let's see. Let's head over to our dashboard and see it's visible here. So one more thing we have to do is reduce the size a little bit. So again, select and reduce the size to 8. Apply and OK. So it's done. Let's head out to our dashboard. Okay, so it looks a little sad. Okay, it's satisfactory. Hourly trend for pizza sales. We see that around 12 and 1 o'clock we see the highest sales, and in the evening we see that around 5 and 6 and 7 we see the highest sales. So it's, the data is in self satisfactory in itself. Let's head on to our next analysis. So one more formatting that we will do is this. It is in darker color, which is hard to see. Let's click on format and go to font, and you can see, let's click on white and change the font to size 8. Okay, so it's done, so it's visible. Next we will drag this and paste it here. So click on, it's not supposed to be floating. Let's click on here and click on format legends. Let's go to, I want it Tableau semi bold, size 8, and fonts should be in white color. Body font should be in Tableau semi bold. Next, size will be 8 and body size will be 8. Body color will be white. Click on more and arrange items and multiple columns. This way we can adjust it. Okay, so now that we have created the hourly trained pizza, we can see some of the obvious insights that are visible from the chart. That is, the peak hour of the day is seems to be the time between 12 and 1 in the afternoon, followed, then the sale decreases after that around 2 and 3 p.m. Then again it picks up around 4 to 7 p.m. So this hourly trend is done. Let's move on to the to our next chart. So our next chart is weekly trend for the total orders. Let's see how we can do that. Now to create the weekly trend, let's head on and to our next worksheet. So we will take the worksheet and use the date order date and put it in the columns. So now it's showing year, but we need weekly. So we will head on to more and we will click on custom. So after clicking custom, it will say that but it has week numbers and week days also. What we will do is week ISO week numbers and press OK. So here you can see the ISO week numbers are given, and now let's populate it with the data. So we need the total orders. We will select the total orders and place it in the rows column. So we have a nice weekly chart. Let's just you keep this in the entire view. So we have a nice weekly chart, but if you see our PPT, it has an area chart. So let's find out the area chart, how we can do that. Click here and go to area chart, and we have an area chart of the weekly orders. I want to do some formatting. I will head on to color and I will select this color, and set opacity, reduce the opacity of the color to 50%. Done. Okay, now it's done. So it's showing the weekly trend of the total orders placed, and if you see in the PPT, we have a line chart in the area chart above the area chart, which creates a appealing visual. So let's see how we can do that. We will press Ctrl on our keyboard and select this and place again in the rows column. So two row charts are created. Select the below chart and change it to line chart. Now that we have done this, change the color, and I want to add this color. So now that it is done, let's just put it in dual axis. After doing dual axis, we have a nice clean chart. So now this is done. Let's increase the size of the line a little bit so it is more prominent, and now it's done. Now the dual axis is done. Synchronize axis and it's okay. So next what we will do is, so now that it is done, it is showing the weekly order trend, but I also want an average line. We will click on this, and we want the reference line to be the table, the pane, or the cell. We wanted the table. Now this is the average line of the weekly trend. So let's perform some formatting. Go to format, line. I want this type of line, and let's go on and edit. And in edit, I want to be custom. So we will avg, and then we will use the value. Okay, and now we want some formatting here to be done also. We want number formatting, and we go to number custom, and we want just one decimal place. So there you have the average value. Now that it is done, let's head on to our dashboard and click this. Oh sorry, we forgot to rename this. I'll name this as weekly trend pizza order. So let's head on to our dashboard and click on this and make sure it is selected floating. So it is, we will place this accordingly. Now I don't want to show the title. Let's hide the title, or better, let's edit the title. We want it to show weekly trend for total orders. Trend for total orders. So select this I will reduce the size to 9. The font size will be Tableau semi bold and the color will be this. Let's make it bold and apply. Okay. Next. So now let's edit this, and first of all let's go to format and go to shading. I want the worksheet shading to be done to none. Next I want is to remove this, so I'll uncheck the show header option and I will hide the field labels and columns. So now that it is done, and let's drop the trend lines, go to format and then go to borders. So I want panes to be none, header also, then drop the row divider and the column divider. Okay, so it is done. So we have dropped all the lines and it is looking neater than before. But the problem is that average is still not quite easily visible. Let's go to format and see what we can do. So I'll select the font and select it somewhat on off and off white, but I have to select a little darker color. Off white is done, and so next I want to edit this, and let's go to the sheet and right click on this and click on format. Shading I want, so totals I want in the white color and in 8 size. So let's see if it is done, and let's head on to our dashboard, and we have a chart showing the weekly trend for total orders. So this chart is showing the weekly trend of orders for every week of the year. We noticed that around week 40 the orders decreased a lot. It went a lot below average, but it quickly picked up in the week 40 in the next week. But after that it has seen some ups and downs, but lately it has been going smooth. Apart from that, we don't see any other kind of disturbances, but we also want to add one more information to this chart, and I want to show the least and the highest point. I want to elaborate and highlight those points. So let's see how we can do that. To show that, we will go to the sheet. Let's head over to the sheet, and here I will make couple of changes. The first thing that I will change is the show recalculated line. So what happens is whenever you click on a point, it shows the recalculated average, which I don't want. I want the universal average. And how do we do that? We will click on this and right click and uncheck the show recalculated lines. Okay, so now whatever you click, the average does not change. So the next thing that we want is to highlight the minimum and the maximum point in the trend. So how we can we do that is we will take this and drop it in the labels. But when we do that, we see the labels for all the points. So to clear that, we will go to here, and instead of all, we will just select the minimum and maximum. So once it is done, it will only show the minimum and the maximum. So let's format this too, and go to shading. So I want it in white. Okay, and the color size should be 8. Okay, done. Let's head over to our dashboard, and it is showing the minimum and the maximum. So now that we have completed our weekly trend, let's see what our next task is. So the next task is sales by pizza category. So after weekly trend, we have to find out the sales by pizza category, where we are going to create a donut chart. Sorry, this won't be a pie chart. This will be a donut chart indicating the distribution of pizza sales of different categories of the pizza. and this chart will help us identify the popularity of the different categories of pizza. So let's see how we can find out the donut chart. So for this, let's create a new worksheet and rename this as sales by pizza category. Now basically we have to find out the percentage contribution of sales of each pizza category to the total revenue. So I'll give the heading as percentage sales of pizza category. Now I'll give this the font of Tableau semi bold and reduce the size to 9. Do some coloring and give this color and keep it bold and apply. So once it is done, let's see how we can create a donut chart. Actually, we cannot create a donut chart in a direct manner as we don't have any form of donut chart available with us. So we are going to create a custom chart, and to do that we will select pie chart from here and then select pizza categories into color. Once we do that, we have created a pie chart of pizza category. Now let's head over to rows, double click on it and write average of 0. This will create an axis, and then again head over to rows and write average of 0 again, which will create a second axis. Put this in entire view format and go to the second marks card and remove the pizza category from here. Once you do that, you have two pie charts. The first one is containing the categories of each pizzas and second one is just empty. Now let's head over to the first marks card and increase the size a little bit, and then what we will do is click here and click on dual axis. So we have created a successful donut chart. Now what we have to do is give some labels to this. So head over to our first marks card and I want totals revenue and put it in labels. So once we do that, we have a total revenue here, and but we want the percentage contribution of each. We will also select total revenue and put it in angle, which will change the angle a little bit. Now head over to the label and right click on here. This will open a quick table calculation button. Once you click on that, you will find percentage of total. Click on percentage of total and it will show the percentage contribution of each pizza category to the total sales. We also want the donut chart to show the total revenues as well. So click on total revenue and put it in labels. Once we do that, we have a, a detailed donut chart describing the total sales and the percentage contribution. Click here and synchronize axis, and it is done. Now let's head over and click on label and do some formatting. Once you click on this, you can do your formatting in your way. So the first one is percentage of total aggregate. We want to change this. I want it to show percentage of total sales, and this will be percentage of total sales, and this will be total sales. So once you do that, let's reduce the size to 8 and give the font as Tableau semi bold. Put it in bold and apply. So the percentage of total sales is 23.955%, and so it is done here. Let's click here and format a little bit more. So one more thing is remaining, and that is the pizza category names. So I want the pizza category names to be shown in the label also. So the veggie pizza and the percentage contribution of total sales is 23.683%, and the total sales is 193,690. So you can see from here that the Supreme is contributing the most to the sales. Sorry, for Classic is contributing most to the sales, followed by Supreme, followed by the chicken, and finally the veggie. So once we have done this, let's right click on this and uncheck show header, and our I think our donut chart is ready. So all that is remaining is head over to dashboard and sales by pizza category. Click on this. Sorry, it is tiled. We have to keep it floating and drag and drop it here. Adjust the size. So I've adjusted the size, but it seems that we need to do some more formatting. Let's go to the sheet, and I don't have space for this. Let's reduce this a little bit. So I only want to show the percentage contribution. So let's delete this and write percentage contribution of total sales is this, and let's write this as sales and pizza category. So it's taking far less space right now, and we also have to reduce the size a little bit. Let's head over to the second marks card and reduce the second size a little bit too. Okay, and let's set the color as black because we want it to match with the background of our dashboard. So I think this will do. Let's head over to the dashboard, and yes, it's visible now, but we need to do some formatting. Let's go to format and let's head over to shading and worksheet set as none. This will reduce, but this also means that the labels are also disappearing because of the color. So I'll go to this and click on labels, click on here and set the as white, color as white, apply. Okay, let's see. Yes, it's visible right now, but we need to remove the lines as well. So head over to borders. So it's not taking, we have to do that again. Right click, format, borders, and we will select everything as none. We will set row divider as none and column divider as none as well. Okay, so it's done, but let's see. But we still have this line here, so I'll head over to the lines, grid lines as grid lines 0, none, 0 lines none, and we have finished with our donut chart. So it's looking okay. Let's see if it matches with our. Okay, so we have to also add the total sales to the middle of the second donut chart. So let's head over to our sales by pizza category and let's go to our second marks chart and total revenue, take it to label. Okay, so we will do some formatting. We want it as number custom, sorry, currency custom. We will provide the prefix as dollar and display unit in thousand and decimal place to 1. Okay, so it's done. Let's change the color also. Let's set the color as white so it will be visible with the black background. So remember, in Tableau we have this little formatting available everywhere. So always remember to explore and find out what how formatting can be done from where. So now we have a complete donut chart displaying the percentage contribution and total sales of every pizza category. So let's head over and to our next chart. The next chart will be pizza sales by size. This will be we will be in creating a chart displaying the pizza sales by size. This will help us in identifying the popularity of the different pizza sizes. So let's copy this, head over to our dashboard, create a new worksheet and name it as pizza sales by size. Let's see how we can find out the chart. So now for the pizza sales by size, we will be creating a completely custom chart. So this chart will be a slider chart. So as you can see from the PPT, we have a bar chart and we have a slider chart showing the percentage of sales contribution by pizza size. So basically large is contributing 45.9%, medium is contributing 30.5%. So and all these contributions are being shown in a way of slider chart. So as default, Tableau Public does not provide any form of slider chart, but we will create this slider chart totally custom made. So let's see how we can do, but first we need to do some calculations. So two calculations to be exact. The first one will be, let's head over to the calculated field, click on this, and I will name this as max. So this will be average of 1. So its calculation is valid. Click on apply and OK. So I will do one more calculation. Let's select create calculated field, click on minimum, and I will provide the formula as average of 0. Click on apply and OK. Now when you select pizza size and put it in the column, you will see that L, M, S, XL and double XL is showing. So first thing that we need to do is do some formatting to the pizza size. So let's select, right click on this and select aliases. So basically what alias means is the data is showing L as large, but we want it to display as large. So we will double click on the alias or the value which is given and write large. So basically what we want Tableau to do is whenever it sees L, it has to show an alias of large. Next we have M, so it will be medium. Next we have S, and for S we will want to show regular. For double XL we want to show X dot X dash large, and for double XL we will want to show double X large. So let's click on OK. Now let's select pizza size and put it in the rows. So now we have large, medium, regular, X large and double X large. These are showing because we have changed the aliases. Let's click on entire view and now let's populate the column. So to populate the column, what we only want is the max and minimum. So let's do one thing. Let's take the measure value and put it in columns. Once you do that, we see that every measure value that we have present is showing its contribution in this form. But we don't want everything, so we will double click on this and we will unselect everything except max and min. So apply and OK. So now that we have done, we see a clear bar chart representing the max and minimum values of the by the pizza size, and we have filtered it by measure names. So this is not the slider we were looking for. To make that one, we will change this. we will change from automatic to line, but it is showing a different kind of thing. So what we will do is select the measure values and put it in path. So once we do that, we have a line. Sorry, it will be select control and then click on measure values and add to path. So we have a line chart for this measure values. Let's increase the size a little bit, and now we have a perfectly rounded bar type lines which we wanted to achieve. So once this is done, now we have to add sliders which will show the percentage contribution to sales. So to do that, we will put total revenue into columns. Once we do that, we have another axis, and we will change, we will go to the uh, second marks card, this marks card, and change it as shape. And we want shape of this. Let's decrease the size a little bit until it's our, yes, I think it is satisfactory. And let's select on this and do dual axis. So once we do that, we see that it is done, but the shapes are hidden behind the bar charts. So let's do some formatting too. So we want this to display pizza size. So let's select pizza size and put it into colors. Now that we have color, let's click on this edit color, and I want summer color. Let's select assign palette and apply. So we have created a similar kind of chart, but total sales, let's and the percentage contribution is still remaining. Let's head over to our last marks card and put total sales. But first we will do is a quick table calculation to display the percentage of total. And one more thing that we will do is synchronize axis, and once it's done, it will synchronize. And let's hide header, and for the time being, let's move on to our labeling part. So for this, we will do is select this and using control and put it in the labels. So one more thing, maybe increase the size a little bit so it can accommodate the percentage contribution. It's not working. Let's select on labels, click on alignment, and click on this. So we also want to format a little bit. Let's right click on this and head over to formatting. So basically what we want to do right now is do some formatting with this percentage contribution. So to be exact, this is showing opaque transparent thing, but we want is a solid shape. So we will select on more shapes, and we will select this as filled. Select this shape and select on apply and OK. So it is showing kind okay, but let's increase the size a little bit so it can accommodate the. Now let's provide the colors to the second marks card as well. So we will take the pizza size and put it into colors. So it has taken colors responding to the bars colors, and I think it's done. And let's see if we can have achieved. Yes, it's done. So let's go ahead and hide this show, and we want. So now that it is done, let's head over to our dashboard and populate it with the newly created chart. So I will drag this clip, keeping the it as floating, and adjust the size. So we see that the bar and the circle charts are little bit bigger in size. Let's head over and make adjustment to the size as well. So the first marks card, let's reduce the size a little bit. Okay, let's head over to the second marks chart and reduce the size a little bit, and head over to label, select and reduce the size. Let's reduce the size to 8, which is the least, and keep it as bold. Select and apply and OK. So we also want the color of the label to be white, so it is visible with a background, black background. Apply and OK. So let's see if the anything has changes in our dashboard. So it's much clearer now. Let's right click on this and head over to format. First thing that we want to do is go to sheet and create, let's select the sheet default as none. So we need to format right now. So first thing that we will do is get rid of the borders. So I'll go to pane and select none, click on row divider and select none, and click on column divider and set none. So most of the lines are gone. Let's remove the zero lines and the trend lines. So once all of these are removed, let's see what else formatting we are left with. So one thing that we need to do is format the title of the chart and the categories. So let's head over to our sheet and let's edit this. We will select the font size as Tableau semi bold, select the size as 9, select bold and change the color to this. So click on apply and OK. Next what we want to do is format this. So now that we have formatted, let's head over to our dashboard, and one last formatting that we need is the pizza size. So let's head to format and font size will be 8 and select the color as white. So I've selected the color as white. It formatting is almost done. Let's adjust the size of this and let's see if it's done or not. Okay, so it's done. So the chart is properly visible. We can see the percentage contribution of every pizza size. Large pizza size contributes the most, around 46%, followed by the medium pizza size around 30.5%, followed by regular, extra large, and extra large contributes the least. Okay, so we have the percentage contribution with us. Let's see if it's appropriate. So we have achieved this. We don't want this. Let's delete this and done. Okay, so we are done with the slider, and let's head on. We are done with the slider chart, and let's head on with our next chart, that is the total orders and pizza sold by category. So now that we have created a slider chart, let's see what our next task is. So next task is to create a total orders and pizza sold by category butterfly chart. Now butterfly chart is a special kind of chart where we can display two things at the same time. So we are going to display the total orders and the total pizza sold and differentiate based on the category. So let's see how we can create a butterfly chart. Let's head on to our next sheet, new sheet, and name it as total pizza total orders and pizza sold by category. So this will be our title of the sheet, and to create a butterfly chart, the first thing that we need to do is put the pizza category into the rows. So we get the chicken, classic, supreme and veggie category in the rows column, and now we will populate the columns. To populate the columns, the first thing that we need to do is create a calculated field, and let's name this as negative total negative total pizza sold. And in this we will just provide a formula minus total pizza sold. So hit apply and OK, and the negative total pizza sold calculated field is created. Now we will take the measure values and put it in the columns, but we don't need all the values, so we will unselect everything except the negative total pizza sold and total pizza sold. So we will unselect everything except the negative total pizza sold and the total orders. Okay, so hit apply and OK. So the butterfly chart is almost created. Let's look at our butterfly chart, put it on entire view. Now this 0 is our axis. On the left hand side it is the total pizza sold, and on the right hand side it is the total orders. Now let's do some formatting. Firstly, let's reduce the size to a little bit, and let's take the measure values into labels to provide some kind of labels. So the labels will be in white color because our background is darker, so I will put it in white. Label size reduced to 8 and the font will be Tableau semi bold. Let's apply and OK. So for the time being it's done. So now that we have created the butterfly chart, let's head on to do some formatting. So first thing that we will do is click on the measure names and bring it to color. This way we can differentiate between the total pizza sold and the total orders. Now the labels have been provided, but it is showing the orders in total pizza sold values in negative format. Now negative format can be sometimes confusing to understand, so let's head on and do some formatting. Click on labels and go to formatting, and in numbers let's go to custom. We will do some custom formatting. So for this, to change the negative to different format, we will use 0 comma 0 and then a semicolon followed by a bracket 0 comma 0. So basically what it tells is that if it's the positive value, then it will be on 0 comma 0, and whatever is after the semicolon, it is for the negative values. So once we hit enter and it's okay, so we have the negative value in brackets and the positive values as it is. So now that it is done, let's hide this. Now let's hide this, hide field labels for rows, and let's also show don't uncheck show header folder. So now that it is done, the basic thing is done with, and let's change the color a bit. So we have done with the formatting. Let's assign some colors. Click on edit colors. For the negative total pizzas, I will assign this green color, and this color is okay. And for the total orders, I will assign the red color. We will select a lighter shade of red, maybe this or this, and select on apply and OK. So we had done with the butterfly chart. Let's head over to our dashboard and export or import a chart. So total orders by chart, let's import it here, and so it is a bit. So now all that is left is to do our formatting. So let's make it to a size and we have adjusted it. Now we need some formatting. Let's head over to our sheet, and first thing that we will format is the title. Double click on it, then select and set the color as this, set the size as to 9, well 8, and to set the text format to Tableau semi bold. Click on apply and OK. Next, let's click on this, click on format, and font size will be 8 and color will be white, and click on bold. So I think we are done with this. Let's head on to our dashboard. Okay, so it is done, but it is not visible as of now. Let's do some formatting here as well. Let's click on format and click on shading, and the worksheet color should be none. So now that it is done, let's remove the border lines. So the pane will be none, header none, select everything to none, column divider is none. So go to rows, header will be none, and go to columns, header will be none. Go to lines, remove the grid lines to none and zero lines to none. Let's remove the reference lines to none and the drop lines to none. Let's also remove the axis rulers and the axis ticks. So I think it's done. Let's see if it is okay. So here we are done with the formatting, and one thing I will change is the size of the title. I will just increase the size to 9 so that it is comparatively okay with all the other titles. So here we have the butterfly chart. So we are almost finished with the first page of the dashboard, and let's head on and see what we have to do next. So once the butterfly chart is done, let's head on and add some of the insights that we have derived until now. So in my sheet, as you can see, we have these two insights that we have added. So let's head on and add our insight. So first what we will do is drag the text and click it over here. So first what we will write is the busiest hours and week. Busiest hours and week. So let's give this a font as Tableau semi bold, size as 10, put it in bold, and change the color to a purple color, sorry, white color, because the background will be purple. Okay, so we have this, and let's format text object, alignment is left. Just edit some formatting, head on to layout, and we will select background as maybe this color, opacity 100%. Okay, so we have a background. Let's adjust some a little bit, and okay, the busiest hours and week, it's done. And let's fill this inside. So as you can see that I have already written some insights here. So let's head on and write our insight. So basically we want to say that the peak hours are between 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. and in the evening between 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. So so here you can see I have included the insights that we have derived so far, and now let's move on to our next task, which is to design the next page. But before we do that, we have to insert here some kind of toggle switch that will help us to toggle between the two pages. Let's see how we can do that. So but now before we add some toggle options, let's head on and add these filter options. So let's Go to a Tableau worksheet and let's go to a sheet, and in here we will add filters. So what filters do I need? So first I need the pizza category and the order date. So let's select pizza category and drop in the filters option and apply OK. So I need the order date too. Let's select and yes, and let's select months and next, use all and apply OK. So now that we have, let's select this and apply to worksheets. So using all this data source and this to apply to worksheets and all using this data source. Let's head over to our data dashboard and let's click on this, and here we have the show filter option. So in this filters I need pizza category. Let's select this and paste it here, and I also need the filters of month of order date. So let's select this too and select it here, but let's do some formatting and adjust. So to do that we will single value drop down list and let's adjust it in the space given. Now we need to format, use this and format filter, and the title I want it to Tableau medium size 8 and the should be in white. Okay, so it is done. For shading for this also, so the month date is given. If we select January, then the whole data set will change according to that particular date. So for this also we will say use a single value drop down and adjust it here. Select all and everything will change. So the pizza category and the order filter are set. Now one more thing that we will do is make it a dynamic dashboard. For example, once we select this, we want every data set to change according to that particular selection. To do that, we will use this use as filter, and for the same thing that we will do for the rest of the charts as well. We will use each and every chart as a filter in itself. So this will give us a little bit of more interactivity and dynamic, make it a little more dynamic. For example, suppose we want to check the data for pizza category of chicken. So when we click on chicken, the whole data set is changing accordingly. So for example, when I selected chicken, the hourly trend of pizza sales also changed accordingly. So next, if we select, so let's say suppose I want to see the data regarding the orders placed around 4 p.m. So once we select that, we see that the trends, our weekly trends also change. The sales contribution is changing also. We have a $16,800 chicken sales, and the pizza sales by size is also changing. So is the total orders, and pizza category also changes. So this way we have added interactivity among the charts and made it a little more dynamic. We have also added the pizza filter options of pizza category and order date. Suppose we say classic, so the every each and every data is showing information of just the pizza category classic. Now let's head on and add our toggle switch. So now that we are done with this dashboard, we are going to create another dashboard which will contain the best and the worst seller pizzas. So this, it will look like this. It will contains the best sellers and the worst sellers by revenue, quantity, and total orders. Basically the output will, the layout will remain the same. We will have the KPI, the insights at the left hand side, plus we will have the navigation button which will help us navigate between the home dashboard and the best and worst dashboard. So first thing that we will do is let's rename the dashboard as home dashboard, and let's hide all the sheet. This will just hide all the sheet that are relevant to this dashboard. And let's just do create a duplicate dashboard. Right click on this and duplicate. So the second home dashboard is done, and but we want to change the layout a little bit because it is in a different format and it will contain different set of values. So to do that, let's select this and right click on this and click on edit image. Once you click on edit image, you will be asked to choose another image, and we will select this dashboard and click on open. We will select fit image and centered image, click on OK, and once we do that, we have the dashboard. But we need to delete all these which were from the previous dashboard. Let's select and delete all of these. Let's select this, delete, select this and delete, and select this and delete. So once we have cleared the dashboard, previous dashboard, we are left with the insights. This these I will change later, and here we will place the rest of the charts that we are going to need. Basically we are going to show the best and the worst performing pizzas based on the revenue, the order quantity, and the total sales. So let's see how we can do. Let's just rename this before the as best hyphen worst. So let's get on with it and let's populate these data, this dashboard. So to find the top 5 and the bottom 5 performing pizzas, we will start with the revenue. So let's head on and create a new worksheet, and in this we will name this as top 5 pizzas by revenue. So in this, we want to show a bar graph representing the top 5 pizza sets. To do that, so now it is showing all the pizza name and the total revenue. The next thing that we will do is take the pizza name and put it in filters. Once we do that, you can see that there is an option called top. Once we click on that, you have to select by field, and instead of 10 we will write 5. So we want total revenue and we want custom, and let's click on apply and OK. So here we have all the top 5 best performing pizzas. Let's click this, the best pizza followed by the rest, and it is done. I also want the labels to display the total revenue. Let's put the labels, sorry, let's put the labels as total revenue, and we have, it is done. So now we want to change the color. Let's click on color, more colors, and I want this in green color. So let's see if it is done. Okay, so it is done, and I want this to be I want to edit the labels also. Let's click on edit, and here let's select and keep it to 8. Select the font as Tableau semi bold and select the color as white because we have a dark background. Click on OK. So now we also want to format the label. Let's click on the labels. Let's click on the label and click on format. But once we format, we will use the number, and we want currency custom. So I want it in thousands. The prefix should be dollars and 2 negative decimal place. So I think it is done. Let's head on to our dashboard and import our newly created top 5 pizzas. So once we place this, let's adjust it a little bit. So let's make some more changes to the sheet before we head on. Let's hide this. Don't show header details. Let's hide this too. Hide field labels, and let's format this. I want it to be. Let's head on to our dashboard and then we will format. So first thing first, the title, let's format the title. I will select this and reduce the size to say 9. We will use the font Tableau semi bold and we will use the color as this. Apply and OK. Then we will format the graph, and then we will move on to shading. Select the worksheet as none. Once we do that, we have a clearly visible data sheet, but we have to reduce the lines. So the sheet 0 lines is none. Let's head on to columns and grid lines as none, and axis rulers and axis sticks as none. So it is done. Let's head on to rulers, axis ruler none, and it is done. So we have somewhat achieved our layout, but it is still. So we head on to formatting and let's head on to shading, default worksheet, row banding. So now for the rest of the formatting, let's head over to our sheet, and in this we will. So now that we have done this, let's select the shading. So the last thing that we have to do is change this color to white. Let's go to formatting and header to, let's say, reduce the size to 8 and keep it as white color. So it is done. The best top 5 performing pizzas are done. One thing I want to do is reduce the size a little bit. So here it is, and that is okay. That is perfect. We have the top 5 pizzas by revenue. Let's go ahead and make the bottom 5 pizzas by revenue, and we will duplicate this, and this will be bottom 5 pizzas by revenue. So the only thing that we have to change here is this. We have to change the field from top to bottom and click on apply and OK. So we have created, let's select a different color for this. Let's select the shade of this red. This one is perfect. Click on OK and it is done. Let's see if the, let's import the chart in our dashboard and see what it looks like. So we have a successful bottom 5 pizza set. So one thing that I want to change for this bottom 5 pizza set is the, I want it to show in the ascending order. The lowest performing pizza should be at the top and the rest way follows. So it is done. Let's head on and make the next two top 5 and bottom 5 pizzas by total orders and total sales. So it will be done in the same manner, but I won't waste time and show you. You can pause the video and do it on your own, and if you have any issues, you can check out these two sheets, and you will get a fairly good idea on how to do this. So as you can see, we have calculated the top 5 pizzas by quantity, top 5 pizzas by total orders, as well as the bottom 5 pizzas by quantity and bottom 5 pizzas by total orders. Once this is done, we will move on and edit our insights. So I have shown you in the previous dashboard how to edit this, so I won't waste any time showing that to you again. So I'll just copy paste it, and you can pause the video and edit it on your itself. So now that we have added the insights, the only thing that is left to add the navigation button. So we want to add the navigation button here so that we can toggle between the two dashboards. On one click we can go to the home dashboard, and on another click we can head on to this dashboard. So let's see how we can do that. So we are almost done, but the only thing that is remaining is to add the navigation button. So we will add the navigation button, and in the objects we will find a navigation button. So let me explain a little bit. So when we are at the home button, we would like to have a navigation button which will take me to the best and worst dashboard. And when we are in the best and worst dashboard, we would like a navigation button that will take me to the home dashboard. So in that respect, in the home dashboard we will add a navigation button, and let's adjust it a little bit and place it nice and clean. And then when you double click on it, we have an edit button. So when we are at home button, we want it to navigate to the best and worst. Okay, and we will provide a title, best and worst. We will provide a background of, let's say, this color, and click on apply and OK. So we have a navigation button in the home dashboard, one that will take us to the navigation second dashboard, which is this. And in the say in the best and worst dashboard, we will do some editing. We will double click on the navigation button and it will take us to the editing page. So in the editing page, when we want to navigate it to the home page. So here I will again put the background as this and click on apply and OK. Sorry, I forgot to change the name. I want a title to show home, and click on apply and OK. So let's see if this works. So whenever you want to go to the best and worst dashboard, you have to select alt and then click on the best and worst. So when you click, you are taken to the best and worst dashboard. And in the this dashboard also, when you click on the home button, alt and click on the home button, you are taken to the home dashboard. So this way we have completed the dashboard creation for our pizza sales data analysis. So once we have created the dashboard, let's save it in our Tableau public. So when you click on the save button, it will save and take you to the Tableau public web page. Just hold on a second, it's saving. Okay, so it is saved, and we are heading to the Tableau public website. So here you can see we have already published the data, our dashboards. So here you have all the dashboard. Suppose you want to download the two dashboards that we have created. Let's see how you can do that. Head on to download button, head on download and select as let's download it as PowerPoint. Suppose you want to give a presentation about the dashboard, so we want to download it in the PowerPoint format. Once you click on the PowerPoint format, you will to download specific sheets from this workbook. So I want the home and the best and worst, these two. So click on these two and click on download. So once you click on download, it will download the specific two sheets as a PowerPoint presentation. And once you have downloaded, let's see how it looks in a PowerPoint presentation. So it will give a random title to your project, but we want to see is these two dashboards. So we have created successfully some dynamic and interactive dashboards, and you are ready to begin your presentation. So I hope you like this video. I want to emphasize that the Tableau is a very powerful tool and has a lot of customizable options. Only you have to keep in mind when you are doing that small customizations will go a long way in creating a beautiful and appealing dashboard. So with that, let's end this video. I hope you liked the video. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like, subscribe and leave a comment. So thank you.